Hi everyone. Once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tofik. Today is also another wonderful session about our tutorial video on getting the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. Today I'll be presenting the CV that got me the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. So I must recognize the fact that there are other documents that are very important when you apply for scholarship, such as your statement of purpose, your letter of recommendation, um, even your CGPA, right? As the case may be, your experience and everything. So, however, organizing your document is very key and important. And one of such important document is your CV. So this was the exact CV I used to apply for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, and eventually I got the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship in medical imaging and application, which that was in 2022 to 2024. Now I am done with it, and I am currently doing my PhD. So let's get into it. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button as I'm going to be sharing several packages as regards graduate study, things that work for me that I am confident that if you adopt it judiciously, it might also work for you. So let's get started. So the first thing in when drafting your academic CV for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship specifically is to use the europass CV. So why others might say, oh, if I don't use the europass CV, does that mean that I'll not get the scholarship if I meet it? Of course, if you don't use the scholarship, the europass template, there is high chance that you can still get the scholarship. There is no doubt about that. But in Europe, they are used to Europass and they always suggest it. Most of these scholarship application, they always write it there, use the Europass format. So in my former video about the document required, I show you how to come up with your own Europass CV. All you have to do is to go to the internet, you type your Europass CV, and then you go to the website, you register, and you start filling the detail. So that's one way. Another way is to collect somebody's Europass CV, for example, like mine. I'm going to provide the link in the description so you can go ahead and download it. So all you have to do is you can try to convert it to Word and then you can edit it directly to suit what you have. Change the about me, change everything, and it just worked fantastic. So firstly, if you want to draft your Europa CV, is totally different from the US CV. You can see here I put in a lot of personal detail. So in the Europa CV, they usually request for this detail, like your nationality, for example. They usually request for it. So it's usually like this. And there are several templates for Europass that you can use. So I choose this template because I like it. So there are several templates. Now, the first thing is usually your about me. So this should be very short. And for Europa CV, this session is very important. Just like in the US CV, I told you the objective or about me is not important. If you put it, I won't stop them from giving you the scholarship, but it's not important, right? So, but for the Europa CV, this session is usually there. If you don't put it, for sure, it won't stop you from getting your scholarship. But since the session is there while you are filling it online, so we usually just put it anyway. And for the picture, it's your choice. So most of the time, I advise people to remove their picture because picture of a person usually give like either it might give the evaluator either a good impression or a bad impression, and you want to avoid that. So most of the time, I advise people you don't have to put your picture. But for me, back then when I was applying, of course, I put my picture, so it doesn't matter, right? So then after that is your education and training. Under education and training, you can see the way I arrange mine. Firstly, I put my bachelor of engineering in biomedical engineering. All these are something you can enter in the Europass, or if you convert this to Word, you just edit it, right? Then they always ask for the address. If you remember in the academic CV I presented earlier for US, there's nothing like address in the university section, but well, in Europass, they ask for it. But you can see under the final grade, I did not only put my CGPA, I also said top 1% out of 9,000, over 9,000 graduated students in 2021. So then I put my grade. Like I said, I usually prefer to put my relevant courses here instead of putting master thesis topic. The reason is that under my work experience or research experience, I'm still going to put my master thesis project there. So why repeat it? So yeah, I always prefer to put my relevant courses. Then we have the next session is the work experience. So unlike if you look at my US CV, I have under work experience. If you haven't watched the video for the US CV, you should kindly go ahead and watch it. So under here, you see I have work experience. Inside work experience, that's where I put everything, including my research experience, my industrial experience, and my teaching experience. But for that of US, I try to separate it. So for Erasmus, you can decide to separate it. But if you are using Europass directly, it's usually just work experience, right, on the website. So you end up putting everywhere. So if you see, I'm applying for medical imaging, so I specifically mention things that I've done in that area. I used to work in the hospital, so some of the stuff that I did, I mentioned it, which is important to what I'm applying to. I also mentioned here is where I discuss about my master thesis project and what I have done. So you can go through them and see how to implement that. So I've also taught in IGMB. I I taught in secondary school, so I put all of them. So as you can see, then the internship I have done. Then one important section is you can see I have professional development and certification. And what do you notice here? I highlight some of the certificate. Like I used to tell you guys, I have over 20 online certification, but depending on the program I'm applying to, that will determine where I'll put. If you see all this certificate that I mentioned here, if you watch my video where I analyze my academic CV in for US school, you realize that most of these courses were not the one that I put there, right? Why? Then I was applying to more biologically inclined area. So or specialization. So that was why I picked the courses I did on cancer biology, as the case may be. But for this, you realize that most of the courses I put here are relating to programming courses because the course I'm going to do is I'm applying for here is programming related. So that's why I have all these like the Google IT support, robotics, Python, and the like. And one important thing, you see, I did not just list the the course, right? So I highlighted the key things I learned in the course. And these key things are also relevant to the program. This to let you know that the way you present your CV is very, very important. When I eventually started the master program, this stuff that I took a robotic course. So everything I highlighted here were also taught. And I was like, yeah, I learned it during the Coursera course that I did, which is very good. And also I did a lot of data analysis stuff during the master program. So highlighting this was very helpful. Then publication and presentation. During this time, I didn't have any publication. So all I did is I just provided the link for the work I'm planning to publish from my master thesis. Eventually, I published them anyway. So I published, I haven't published this yet, but I've published this. These are two presentations. So right now, I already have about 5 publications. So yeah, but back then, I didn't have any publication, and that's that about that. Then also I've done a lot of leadership experience. If you look at my former CV for US, I maintain it on 2 page. As a result of that, I only just list my leadership and community services. I just listed them. But for this Europass, I didn't have any restrictions, so I decided to go with 3 pages, and I could explain some of the things that I have done. Like I was a class rep of my class, as simple as you think it might be. I explain what I did, which I find it good. Then also I was the vice president of this association in charge of mentoring undergraduate students. It is a really cool association at the University of Illinois. So I put what I did. Then also I was the president of my association. I know Erasmus value culture. So you'll be traveling to different countries and all. So putting this position, I was the president of my indigenous association where I was engaged in cultural activity, was really good, and I really wanted to highlight the point of what I did, which was really nice. So you can see how I arranged them. Then most importantly, I have my honors and award. This honors and award can come at the top. There's no hard way of how you choose to arrange your CV. Just make sure your strong point, you try to bring them first. But most importantly, your education and your experience should come hand in hand. Sometimes you can have your education immediately, you have a publication. It all depends on you. But as far as you're applying for master scholarship or PhD, always start with your education. That's very important. Then you can see some of the volunteering and community services that I did, I highlighted them, then the professional affiliation. Then here, skills and ability. If you notice the CV, my academic CV in US, if you have not watched the video, you should watch it where I explain the CV that got me PhD opportunity in the US. So if you look at their difference here, right? So that my skills and ability was at the top, but here I put it at the last. And you can see I highlighted the skills I have, including laboratory skills, software skills, programming skills, desktop publishing, all the skills I highlighted it. And like I explained also in that video, I have a link. This link will take you to the website where I have all my certification, everything as an evidence to say, okay, yeah, I actually have this portfolio on how to do it, do this and all. I'm still going to, I already make a video on how to build your own website. You can see the link, so you can watch that video to see how you can build your website. You don't need any programming skills. It's an online website. You just have to click, go to it, edit already all the template and host it. It's really amazing and it's completely free of charge. Yeah, if you made it this far, thank you very much. Don't forget, I know you keep coming to watch this video because you love them. Don't forget to subscribe so that you always get the notification immediately I post new one. You'll be among the first people to view it and enjoy it. So this is the CV that I used that got me the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. This was in 2021 for 2022 admission. So right now, I can imagine you have to make your own even more better than this. So you can feel free to download this template from the description and voila, see you at the top. Bye.